Hello there, lovely people. So, today we're going to look at different types of relationships, different stages of relationships, according to various factors as well. So, I'd like for you to guess when you're listening to this the type of relationship that actually occurs between dog and cat. And then we're going to actually provide you with insight on the actual ground level reality. Let's start off with the types of relationships based on psychology. It starts off with the first one being called infatuation. Infatuation suggests that there's only passion. Then there's friendships, where there's only intimacy. After that is empty love, with only commitment without anything else. Romantic love is a blend of passion and intimacy. Fatuous love is passion and commitment. Compassionate love is intimacy, commitment. And consummate love is passionate, intimacy, and commitment. Okay, the types of relationships. Dating. Dating is the process of intentionally spending time with someone to get to know them better, have fun together, and enjoy being romantic. Dating can sometimes be about seeing if there's potential for a long-term relationship, or it can just be having fun without expectations for the future, which is sometimes called casual dating. What is an actual relationship? A relationship is where two people may be dating, regularly spending time together, and engaging in romantic or sexual activities. There's an understanding that the two will continue to spend time together, work on growing the relationship with each other, and continue nurturing their connection. People in committed relationships may choose to use identifiers like boyfriend, girlfriend, or partner. Next, a situationship. A situationship is a romantic relationship that hasn't been exactly defined, but the people involved have simply not put labels on it, usually intentionally, whether that's to avoid making things too complicated because they're figuring out what they want from each other. Generally speaking, situationships usually have more emotional involvement than a friend with benefits scenario, but not the explicit romantic feelings and commitment of a committed relationship. How about if something is just virtual and has not even reached the stage of dating or a situationship or friends with benefits or a relationship? What do we term that as? Because sometimes there are people that you've only met 3 times prior to closing a virtual situationship, and they may claim that you are a bad partner or boyfriend when in fact you aren't in a relationship, you haven't been on a single date. It's more like a virtual situationship of potential, but it's never really manifested into anything. Since I've been traveling since 2015, I've only been back in India and the city for a year and a half in 2018 till 2020. So, how do relationships or romantic or intimate stories work over here? Well, they're very variable. Personally though, I only look at life visa by visa. So even the last temporary girlfriend I had was only based on an agreement that while we're together, in the same place together, that's the time when we're together. And when we're not, we're free and we're not committed at all and we're living independent lives. This was an ex I referred to, not the cat that's been creating a lot of drama. What's a codependent relationship? A codependent relationship is an imbalanced, dysfunctional type of relationship in which a partner has an emotional, physical, or mental reliance on the other person. What's a toxic relationship? A toxic relationship is any type of interpersonal relationship where your emotional, physical, or psychological well-being is undermined or threatened in some way. Such relationships often leave you feeling ashamed, humiliated, misunderstood, or unsupported. Toxic relationships are categorized by a lack of support, blaming, competitiveness, controlling behaviors, disrespect, dishonesty, gaslighting, hostility, jealousy, passive-aggressive behaviors, poor communication, stress, characteristics of a healthy relationship. Showing appreciation and gratitude, communicating openly and honestly, being affectionate and showing that you care, mutual respect, actively listening, showing interest in each other, being supportive and encouraging, feeling empathy for each other, spending time together, having healthy boundaries, and being trustworthy. So what do we call something if you met someone just 3 times, You have some sort of a virtual situationship, but nothing tangible in real life. We call that a virtual, toxic, infatuated situationship. Now let's add another factor to the whole situation as well. A cockblock is when someone goes out of their way to stop other people from getting together intimately or getting to know each other better, and perhaps even starting to date. What do we call a cult or religion? A religion that's based around someone where people actually have no tangible experience of the person, but they live off fables and scriptures of fiction, or what they think reality is actually religion or a cult. So now say you have a virtual, toxic, infatuated situationship, but the people involved actually have no real life experience from each other apart from meeting at 3 parties, with only one of those times being an actual real conversation. When they're under the influence of a cult or religion which speaks negatively about someone, they have a certain impression about them, and this actually makes the situation even more toxic. So in this virtual, toxic, infatuated situationship, it never even led to a date because the person, like y'all are experiencing right now, were going through this process of, oh, is he bad or is he good, which was seeded from the start of a cockblock. So before someone calls me a bad boyfriend or a bad partner, know that a virtual, toxic, infatuated situationship under the influence of a cult is totally not a relationship, as there is no tangible meeting, never any intimacy, never in a phone call, as people don't even have each other's phone numbers, just some random stories sometimes, and Instagram messages with ideas that never really were spoken, expressed clearly, or manifested into reality. And here's some insight from my previous temporary girlfriend where we lived together for a month at a time. And that was our agreement, but she enjoyed it so much because we sprouted love that she came back in a couple of months for another month. And here was her experience based on to clear some of the fables that have been spread.